Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Warehouse Sports Cards on YouTube. And we got a bunch to talk about this week. There's a lot that's happened this week, a lot that affects the whole history of the hobby, and it doesn't really affect us that much.
I don't think so.
That's kind of the interesting thing. It might actually help us.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of intriguing things to talk about, a lot of inside information behind the actual hobby. So, like, Mike's been doing this full time for over 20 years. You've been a dealer for over 20 years, basically, and you know how this hobby works and what goes on.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm not as inside as some of the guys on there, but I got a pretty good knowledge of what's going on, of how some of these deals work and some of that stuff. So, it's gonna be unique, man. It's gonna be it's the biggest thing that's happened in cards since I've been in it.
Yeah,
for sure.
More than Panini buying Flair and Donruss and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was unless something changes, Topps is going away.
Yeah,
I mean, the odds are they're not, but that's a big change, huge change.
The odds are they're not. The odds are probably that Panini's not going away. That it just all falls under the Fanatics umbrella, right?
That makes sense. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Yeah, I mean, it's to get started, like, the value of Topps is no longer there. I mean, they had certain evaluations, and Fanatics is like 10 times, 15 times bigger than Topps. I mean, they could have bought them outright anyways.
Yeah.
And now with Topps devaluing, them not going public, that deal getting nixed, who knows what the value of Topps is now, but they're definitely ripe for a takeover, for being bought out.
That was most likely the strategy.
I think so.
Like, we'll pay $100 million more to buy this licensing.
Yeah,
but we're gonna buy Topps for pennies on the dollar.
Right. It's almost one or the other, basically. Yeah. It's just business now. It's different. It's the age of the internet. I mean, it's not 2000. It's not 1980 anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the boom. I mean, this doesn't happen without the boom, for sure. I mean, it doesn't happen without, people seeing all these sports cards going for millions and millions of dollars. Like, Patrick Mahomes knows that his rookie card is selling for $4 million. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah?
He knows, and he wonders why am I not getting a bigger piece of that?
Yeah.
And now they are.
Yeah.
Now they own those cards before they're made. So
that's through the Players Association, or?
Yeah, well, Major League Baseball, the NFL, and the NBA now have ownership stake in this Fanatics company that they're going to make to build cards. So, in a big roundabout way, the players have an ownership in the cards.
So, for those of y'all that don't know, we might have put the cart ahead of the donkey here, but
we got a lot to talk about.
The Fanatics company that has had, like, limited drops, limited products that they have partnered with Panini, that they have sold on their website. They have bought up the Major League Baseball licensing, starting in Players Association, or have they got the Players Association?
No, they've got them all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Major League Baseball and Players Association for 2025, after 2025, right?
The Players Association is 2023.
2023.
Yeah. So, but the Major League Baseball is not until 2026.
Okay.
So who knows how that's going to work out?
Right.
And football's 2026, and I'm not sure about basketball.
But they've got the big three.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's 95% of this market.
Yeah.
Like, soccer might be coming up, but I'm here to tell you, like, Pokemon, F1, like, all this stuff, it doesn't mean anything. So, like, don't listen to all those people out there that have no idea what they're talking about, because it doesn't make a drop in the bucket.
No, not compared to the big three.
No.
The hockey, I mean, if it was more than just those big three, then Upper Deck would be a player, and they're not.
They're not.
So, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves on how much football, basketball, baseball cards are sold compared to everything else. I mean, they literally make you buy Star Wars, and they make you buy Garbage Pail Kids so you can buy the baseball.
Yeah.
Topps does now.
Yeah.
I mean, they make you buy at least 4 to 5 products a year if you're direct with Topps.
Which is part of the worst part about it, and it's something that people that don't know or haven't been around very long, they're not really talking about or they don't care about, which is that the dealers with direct accounts have been supporting these companies for 40 years, 30 years, you know, buying all that junk just so that they can make a 10% or 20% profit. You know, they got to buy the racing, they got to buy the Star Wars. When it's not worth it, nobody wants it.
When it drops immediately below cost when you get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it used to be.
You would buy some of that stuff on blowout for Thanksgiving specials, right? Black Friday specials. And how much?
I would buy blasters of racing for $3 a box.
Yeah.
As many as I wanted. You know, I'd buy them for $3 and sell them for $5, you know, but it'd take me a year to get rid of the 2 cases I bought.
Yeah, 2 cases.
Yeah.
And that's
40
going
boxes.
through eBay and everything.
Everything, every channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was the way it used to be. Is you buy it, half of the products would go up, or you could sell for 20% more, half of the products would go down. I mean, at the end of the day, hopefully you sold enough to make a living. But that's why Kansas City used to have 3 shops, and now we have 18.
Yeah.
Like, only 3 people made it work.
Yeah. And what? How many of those shops are completely, and I mean completely, reliant on direct accounts? I mean 90% reliant.
There's, I believe, I don't know for this for a fact, but I believe there's 3 direct Topps accounts in Kansas City, and I believe there's 2 direct Panini.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, direct accounts.
Direct accounts.
Yeah, everybody has whole-sale accounts through the distributors.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want to kind of explain the distributorship, how that works and stuff for people?
It's mainly I mean, the ideal is to have a direct account with Topps and Panini. That's where you get either the best. It's not really that much difference of price, but there's distributors out there. Southern Hobby, GTS, Blowout, and Steel City used to be distributors. They're not as much anymore because they're almost direct to the consumer. But you would get a break on the costs. I mean, you would get I mean, the numbers are different for each product, but you would get, you know, say an average product manufacturer suggested retail is $150, you would get it for like $112 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and what happens is you could buy it from them. You could buy a case at a time. Depends on your allocations, whatever you want to do. But those companies are probably going away.
But you're reliant on allocation. Do you want to explain that part of it?
100%, yeah.
And kind of like the gaps recently, like I think this will amaze people, is the gaps between what you're actually buying product for and what it resells for.
Right.
Because
So in the past, you would buy products, say a product like Optic or something like that. I mean, Optic, everybody knows Optic used to be $150 a box.
All day long.
So that was one of those products that was $112 cost or whatever it was. I mean, it was in that neighborhood. Optic cost did not go up.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. Like,
nobody knew this was coming. Those big companies don't move that quickly.
Yeah.
You know, the cost did not go up. The retail cost went 6-fold, 8-fold.
Yeah.
So your first wave that you got for cost, you made 10 times your money, 9 times your money.
Yeah.
And also that but your allocations were cut really low. Yeah. Because people knew, you know, the distributors knew that. Yeah. The distributors knew that they were basically handing you money at that point.
So Prism Hobby, you're buying it $160 if you got a direct account with Panini.
Something in that neighborhood, yeah.
And so when it's selling last year for
$1,500
a box, that's and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, like those guys with direct account, at least the ones that had them through the tough times, like they're taking a hit a lot of the time. You know?
I mean, there's a lot of people that made life-changing money. That's why this is such a big deal for people, because I mean, it's life-changing money.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, yourself included, it took 20 years of grinding to get there, 30 years of grinding to get there, and like supporting the hobby, like being an outlet for sales when people didn't want to be an outlet for sales.
When cards weren't cool.
Yeah, when cards weren't cool. And now you got all these hipster doofuses out there that like think they're so cool. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna rant about this because this pisses me off. Like these people piss me off because they know nothing. And a lot of the YouTube channels out there, like they literally know nothing and are giving not just bad advice, but like backwards advice. Like you don't, I mean, so when those people say, you know, when they try to make this as a small thing, or maybe it's a good thing, like maybe it will end up being, but probably not. And they have no idea what the main thing is. They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about.
Right. This is the equivalent of Walmart coming in and wiping out the mom and pops.
Yeah.
This is Radio Shack going away. You know, the small little chains. That's what this could be. I mean, if they don't, I don't see, there's no way, I mean, I'm not a business major saying anything like that, but I don't know how they promised, Major League Baseball was given $20 million as the reported number for the licensing fees for baseball cards last year. And Fanatics is reportedly going to make that $200 million a year.
Yeah.
There's no way that you go from 20 million to 200 without wiping out everybody in the middle.
No, you're wiping
distributors,
out
card shops, direct accounts.
Yeah.
Fanatics already has one of the biggest sports websites in the world. They're going to direct to consumer.
Yeah.
I mean, as Panini and Topps are already doing it.
Hobby shops are going to be competing with everybody else. And if you can buy stuff from your couch, why are you going to go to a shop?
Mm-hmm.
That's the other part of it. Is like, not only are they eliminating a huge source of income from the shops, if they do that, which it makes all the sense in the world from a business standpoint that they would, especially from a business that probably doesn't really give a crap about this hobby in general.
I don't have any faith in someone that paid that much money for a license not respecting the hobby. Mm-hmm. and not respecting the wallet that he just took all that money out of to pay for this. You know, like they have to pay that money. They have to pay those royalties, those licensing fees. They have to pay all that, you know, or they go out of business. Like that's a huge contract that's a huge check every year that they have to write.
Oh, I hope it bites them in the ass. I really hope it does, because in my mind that never pans out. Like, even you go direct to consumer, partly because direct to consumer hurts the hobby.
Yeah. Like,
in general, it's going to hurt the hobby. I mean, if you want wax, that's great, but it's going to hurt the hobby because, again, if you don't have direct accounts, if you don't have shops because they can't stay open, because they can't make money, because they don't have a margin on their product, and you can't sell the stuff, like, you can't produce the stuff that's not profitable, that people aren't going to buy, and people aren't going to go into their shop to get stuff because they don't have to.
Right. Well, what's different about cards is there's a history to it. Like you can't just make a brand new great cool product and it hit no matter what.
That's a great
like Topps. I mean, if Topps hasn't been around for 70 years, nobody's buying base Topps. But it's the biggest release every year. Yeah. It's like card season has started.
It's not
Everybody
special.
loves Series 1.
Yeah.
It's a paper card that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, except it's Topps.
Yeah.
If you put out Fanatics, who cares?
Nobody's
going to care.
Nobody cares.
So that's why the only thing that makes sense is for them to buy Topps.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, this is going to be a disaster.
Mosaic was a cool product this year. It's still a Panini product. Yeah. It still has silvers. It's still tied to the Prism, the Select.
It started in Prism.
That brand.
That's how they do it. They take a great brand. They try something new. If people like it, it goes on. If you're starting completely from scratch, good luck. Yeah. You know, good luck.
And trying to make up 10 times in your licensing, which if licensing accounts for, let's say, 20% or 30% of the cost of your product, so like now it's 200%.
Yeah.
So you got to have that margin where, you know, a hobby box of Fanatics baseball has to sell for $300. where a hobby box of Fanatics basketball has to sell for $450. Has to.
Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, like, I see no chance, because this market's cyclical. All collectibles markets are cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one. All markets in this area, like, this is going to go away. And I hope it takes them under, because that's not because I don't like the move they made, but also, like, it's just stupid. Like, in my opinion, it's just a bad business move. If you are paying that much, increasing the cost of your product that much.
Yeah. Or the way to get around that is to print the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And your margins on per box go down, but you sell a lot more boxes.
Yeah.
Which is not good either.
Where'd you get that super fractor per pack from? Cardboard collectors?
Cardboard Connection, yeah.
So I want to show you all something really interesting here, which is basically the print run for it's the print run for Topps Chrome.
It was for base super fractors, I think.
Yeah.
It was the NPN and the odds on the hobby box of Topps Chrome.
So if I go ahead and if I go to Cardboard Connection, so Topps Chrome, was it Cardboard Connection?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just talk about it, because this is gonna throw people off. So anyways, basically a super fractor is what, 1 in 500,000 packs?
Yeah, like 480,000, something like that.
So super fractor is a 101.
Yeah. There's 220 cards in the set.
220 cards in the set.
And then so you can figure out how many packs are, I mean, there's some pluses and minuses with like jumbos and blasters and stuff like that, but basically you can figure out the odds, or you can figure out how many cards they printed. Yeah. I mean, they give you the odds for the 101s.
Yeah.
So if you do the math, if it's 480,000 times 220, it was like 110,000 or something like that.
110 million.
110 million, I'm sorry. Yeah,
110
million. And you get basically 2 base cards per pack, because there's an insert and a refractor and all that stuff. I mean, it's really, really close to 1 million cards per.
1 million cards per player.
For Topps Chrome.
So you got 2 cards per pack. So that's
2 to 3, yeah.
2 million, base cards, and you got a 220 cards, 200 million base cards. You got 220 card sets. So it's a million cards per player. So you're talking, like, if you're talking about a 20,000 pop count on Luka base prisms, like, forget about that.
It's a good thing PSA isn't grading cards. We'll never know that.
Right. Yeah.
But this is the equivalent of, I mean, if you think it's bad now, and they're paying him $20 million, wait till they have to pay him $200 million.
And I wonder how much of that comes from the idea that, well, they did it in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Like, we can just print, because people want it. It's still not on shelves.
Right.
Like, we'll just print it into oblivion, or they'll come out with like a new product every 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know if they can design-wise. They probably can't do that.
They're probably starting right now.
Come out with a parallel. Come out with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, cards are such a small world. I mean, relatively to everything else. I mean, relatively to any business. Like, a new president comes in and they use the same bank as the previous president to make the Secretary of the Treasury.
Yeah.
Like, the guys that are designing Topps products and Panini products, they're probably getting job offers from Fanatics eventually. I mean, I think, they're not going to start from scratch, like the ground floor scratch. They're going to hire people that kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That do know what they're doing. I don't mean to disparage them. They do know what they're doing. They're going to hire those people. So we're not starting from scratch, but if they can't use their names, if they can't, us as consumers, it's going to look like it's coming from scratch.
Yeah.
You can make the coolest cards out there. Like Impeccable is the coolest card you've ever seen. It's a great looking card.
Yep.
Rookie patches, super limited.
Yep.
On card autographs, great texture, all that stuff. And not a lot of people care about that card. I mean, it's half the price of National Treasures is the rookie cards or less. Yeah.
If you're looking at RPAs, like we were looking up RPAs, and there was like Alonzo Ball RPA that sold for like $200 or something like that, and it was sick.
Yeah,
like it was awesome, but people don't care.
You hold that card in your hand, and
mm-hmm.
it's a cool card. But It doesn't have name recognition. It doesn't have the following. It doesn't have the history.
Right.
I mean, they tried. It does not have the history.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's been around since 2016.
Opulence.
It's on the key card.
Impeccable,
Noir.
Opulence, Noir, Gold Standard, like all of this stuff that, yeah, it has resale value, and I'll buy it at, you know, a reasonable price and sell it at a reasonable price, but it's nothing compared to National Treasures. It's nothing, you know, these other, like, base cards. It's just
Topps
nothing.
Chrome.
Topps Chrome.
Bowman Chrome.
Yep.
There's a reason those names, there's a reason those sets are popular. And the only reason is name recognition. If you say Topps to your grandma, she knows that you're talking about baseball cards.
Yep.
If you say Fanatics base set or Fanatics flagship, like, she has no idea. Nobody knows what that is.
And there are, I want to say, you know, maybe not millions. I bet there's tens of thousands of people in this country right now that buy base Topps every single year.
Mm-hmm.
They put sets together every single year, and they will not give a crap about Fanatics. As a matter of fact, they'll probably, like, they will probably turn against it.
Yeah.
I mean, because their whole mentality is this ultra modern hipster shoe flipper, and I don't have any problem with the people that are in that culture necessarily, but when a company comes in and tries to push that on a hobby that has been around for 100 years and driving people out of the hobby, driving 80-year-old men that have been collecting Topps since Topps was around, driving those people out of the hobby, like, no, I hope that they crash and they burn.
All these guys that have in the last year that have brought their kids back.
Yeah.
You know, they can have their 87 Topps sets, and then they can go get their 2020 Topps sets.
Yeah.
And if they had to go from 87 Topps to 2026 Fanatics, I don't think it works.
They don't care.
I don't think that works.
And they shouldn't care.
No.
Because whatever design they come out with, it's going to be marketed to a certain demographic, and that certain demographic is not 60-year-old men that want to buy a hobby box for is like $150.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the demographic they're after. You know, they're going to try to make it cool. Like, and cool's great, but they're driving out a significant portion of the hobby, which is why they'll fail.
Yeah.
Like, they will fail.
I'm usually pessimistic on stuff like this, just for the fact that it's not for the fact that it's changed, just for the fact that it's changed, that's going away. Like, I know a lot of people that this destroys. I mean, the value of their business went from 7 figures to 0.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it went from 7 figures to the price of the inventory they have.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a business anymore without those allocations.
Yeah.
People that have had allocations for 40 years, like, this is the way they built the mom and pop, the guy that's been around for 40 years. You can go to his store because he's got the new stuff. He may not have a lot of new stuff. He might not buy restocks. You need those shops, because if that guy goes away, there's no one to replace him. Like,
how many shops are in towns of 10,000 people?
I mean, 5 years ago it was 0.
Yep.
You know, and now there's one. You know, there's one in Gardner, Kansas. There's one in Independence. There's 2 in Blue Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, Blue Springs has 50,000 people. There's 2 in Liberty that has 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Like that, those couldn't support 2 years ago. Those could not be supported by the way the cards were. And now, me and you both agree that 3 years from now, the landscape's going to look a lot different than right.
Yeah.
This is basically the equivalent of Fanatics buying Luca Silvers at $10,000.
Yeah.
Or base PSA 10s at $2,000 and saying, I can't wait for this to go up.
This is the equivalent.
That's the exact equivalent.
Yeah. This is the equivalent of Fanatics buying Topps in 1989 for 20 times what, what it was costing.
I mean, all this can go away if they hire the right people, if they buy the brands, if they however they do it, if they buy Topps, if they license the brand, whatever, however that works.
Yeah.
that can all go away if he hires the right people. But there's plenty of websites like StockX that, 15 years ago there was the pit.com.
Yeah.
It's still out there, it's still running, but it doesn't have any effect on the market.
Yeah.
I don't think StockX, it was invented for shoes, and it did a good thing there. I mean, it kept people from buying fakes and stuff like that, but our hobby's so much different than shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, so much different.
And if they buy the brands, if they continue to produce the brands that people are used to, like, that's best case scenario, they still go bankrupt probably.
Yeah.
Like they still like are. I mean, they have to be relying on they have to be, in my opinion, overconfident and arrogant about their ability to promote this market in perpetuity, like into.
I mean, this deal's for 20 years.
Yeah.
If Kansas City goes from 18 shops down to 4 again, there's no way that deal works for 20 years.
No.
I mean, just a microcosm of our city.
Even if they're producing $400 hobby boxes and selling them direct, nobody's going to buy them because this is a cyclical market. Like, people that are 8, 10, 12 years old right now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, they are not going to care about cards. They're going to be getting their license. They're going to be dating. They're not going to care about cards. I've been there, like, in the declining market. Like, I was 6 in 1989, and I collected cards.
I was 100% the outlier of my group, because my brother was hardcore, my friends were hardcore. All of those guys went to high school and there was a couple of years that I kind of took it off, discovered girls and cars and high school. I just never stopped with cards. But none of my friends, I mean, we had a group of 10 guys, none of them kept going.
No,
none of them.
And that's how many 12-year-olds in 1994 or 1990 or whatever were collecting cards when they were 16 or 18 years old? 1 in 50?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe. So, and the ones that are coming behind them, like, if they're not into them, if their big brother's not into them, they're not going to be into them.
Or if there's no shops to go to.
There's no shops to go to.
I mean, if a 15-year-old kid's going to go online, he's not going to go look for baseball cards.
No.
He's going to play video games. And I mean, that the shops are the reason we had such a decline is because it wasn't profitable for shops to be around. Like the people have to be able to get their hands on cards, their hands on cards, not look for them. Once they find them and they like them, then they go out and search for deals. They'll go to, but people, I mean, they're talking about Fanatics putting hobby boxes in like lids that store. Like Fanatics owns lids. So they're thinking distribution channel wise, we've already got all these shops,
The hat company?
The hat company.
So they're going to sell cards
in the shops.
At the shop.
Yeah, they've already got the shops.
Yeah, they've got the infrastructure.
Right. So, I mean, people need to get their hands on the cards. If they put them in, Walmarts and stuff like that, if they change that to Shills or whoever owns, it's not going to change that much. But you can't walk into a lids and talk to the cashier about cards for half an hour.
No. No.
That's where the hobby grows.
They don't have singles.
They're not, their job isn't to know about the products. Their job is to cash them out. Yeah. That's the job.
Yeah.
They need to know, they need to know about hats, but they need to know, this just came out this week or whatever. But how is a 16-year-old kid that they're paying $10 an hour going to tell you about 1998 PMGs?
They're not.
It can't happen.
They're going to tell you about 2028 Fanatics basketball and try to sell you a pack for $10, and nobody's going to buy it.
Right. It's going to sit on their shelves.
Yeah.
It's a big change, man.
I'm talking like I can read the future. I can't, but I'm pretty fired up about it, and I think it's just a terrible, for all these reasons. I'm laying out the reasons passionately, but I'm laying out the reasons of why this is a terrible idea for them, and why it's it's terrible for the market, and it pisses me off because they made a terrible decision, and it's going to affect our market basically. Like, that's what makes me mad. Like, I don't like. I don't care about the company Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
It's that, in my opinion, they made a terrible business decision, and it's affecting real people's lives. You know,
It's it just depends on. Like, I don't have any faith that they're gonna say. I mean, I've probably said this. I don't have any faith that they're gonna choose to keep things going the way they are, even though they're going amazingly well.
Yeah.
And just take that and run with it the way it is. Like, they could skip the distributors. You know, they could skip. I mean, Blowout's got to be having phone calls out the wazoo. I mean, how are the? You know, these are big companies, like millions of dollars a year in revenue.
Yeah. That
are going. I mean, like, when I say big companies, big small businesses. Like, that's what's keeping this alive.
Mm-hmm.
The people can go to Walmart and buy a pack and then come in here and sell it to me. Walmart's not. Lids isn't buying that card back to keep the money circulating.
No, and that's just like, you have the best take on this of why that's important. Like, when Walmart raised their prices, that really hurt this hobby.
Slowed it down. Yeah. It just it's like putting a constrictor plate on a car.
Yeah.
You know, like, if we had back, I mean, no, people don't like the flippers. The hobbyists don't like the flippers, but I'll tell you why it's a good thing when it happens is because Walmart, they buy it for $20 at Walmart, and they come in and they sell it to me for $40, and then I mark it to $50 or $60. Mm-hmm. But all that spread, that $20 to that $60, stays in our hobby.
Yep.
Those flippers either go out and buy new cards with it, more cards with it. They buy singles with it, all that stuff. I'm taking that $20, reinvesting it in the hobby so you can come get more here.
Yeah.
When they raised it to $30 or $35 for a select blaster,
yeah,
nobody's out buying. I mean, they'll buy it for $35, but the market's $45.
Yeah.
So they come and try to sell it to me, and I'm like, I got to pay you $40.
Yeah.
You know, and try to get $50.
Yeah.
So, but that $35 is all going in Panini's pocket. That isn't. They may reinvest it in the hobby by making new products, but it's not liquid It's not. You know, turnover.
No.
So even though it's at $20 and the flipper and the final person to open it paid $60.
Yeah.
Really, that $40 range is not a bad $40 range.
Yeah.
Now when it's $35 and you're paying $45, that's not good for the hobby. That money's going away.
Basketball.
Right.
It really amazes me how quickly people caught on to how Panini was just pouring out select.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, you know, we had this one product,
yeah,
and people were like
basketball,
like they've ruined it. Like,
they had to change it immediately. Like,
yeah,
they had to make hobby different from retail, or nobody was going to buy either.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So they have select basketballs. Retail's a blue base card.
They just made it different.
Yeah, and I don't know what hobby is. Maybe it's just the regular
silver,
silver,
silver or whatever.
Yeah, but you know, people immediately realized, this is the same as football.
Yeah,
they're still printing football. Like, nobody's going to care about this. The singles aren't going to sell.
Yeah,
like, it's like you said, it's 30. So it immediately came down within 2 weeks from $125 for a blaster to $55 for a blaster, you know, or less, because they're going to print so much of it, nobody's going to care. There's going to be.
You can only burn somebody so many times before, you know, and that's what they're going to do. But this is that little example of the $20 to the $60. Imagine if Topps or Panini just put it out for $60 and just took out all the money out of it. That's what's going to happen with Fanatics. Like they're going to take all this money. The reason your cards are liquid, the reason you can come to a shop and sell them, the reason I buy them is because I know how liquid they are. You know, I can turn cards, you know, daily, on a daily basis, an hourly basis, because there's money in the hobby. People, if they see a card they want, they can sell a card they don't want. If they, you know, because they know it'll sell. Now, Fanatics is going to siphon off that $60 and is going to be shipped out to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
and it's not going to come back.
No.
I mean, now we just have to dump money into the hobby over and over again, and it's not secular. It's not going to cycle.
Yeah.
It's when the market's fluid. I mean, everybody, even the people who've been in it for a year of it, have noticed that it's not as fluid as it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Imagine taking all the money from wax and taking it out of the hobby. You know, you're just dumping more money into it. It's not a good sign. I mean, there's 3 years from now, there's not 18 shops in Kansas City. I promise you that.
No.
There may be 2 lid stores.
Yeah. There might be 5.
Yeah.
You know, there might be 5 already.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's definitely going to change a lot of things up. In case you can't tell, I'm not happy about it, but you know, it is what it is. I think we've agreed from the beginning this isn't going to last forever.
No.
You know? So whatever happens is what happens.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad for the warehouse. Like, this is probably a positive. Like, I get 0% of my cards from a distributor.
Yeah.
I get 0% of my wax I buy it from my customers, and I buy it from guys that I've known for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like this affects me 0.
Yeah.
You know? I'm upset for guys, you know, like I'm thinking of somebody specifically now that has grinded for 5 years and started a shop because he wanted to, you know, and when it wasn't cool, you know, and made it work and grinded away, built his allocation, like bought product to lose money on just to build his allocation. And if all that goes away, like, you know, that's just ripping somebody's life out from underneath them. So I'm not worried about myself. Like, I'll do better. I see a great path of where I'll be buying more cards. If it goes direct to consumer, you know, they'll come here to sell them. You know, I see where it's better here, but man, there's 18 people right now that are making
there's plenty of people out there that think they're cool that are going to say like, well, that's just business and they should adapt to the hobby and all this stuff, and they're the problem. Like, you're a douchebag if you say that. Like, you are a complete douchebag, because if you don't understand the difference between a corporate conglomerate taking over, like the difference between them and their ability and the ability of a small business, like, then you're completely ignorant. You're completely ignorant
to the hobby.
If you don't think it's important for small businesses to be able to thrive, to be able to survive, to be able to make money, and like efficiency should be king, and like, I mean, you're going to get a cookie cutter product.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to have 3 different products. We're not going to have 4 or 5, 6 different products. Like, we will, but it's all under the same brand. They're probably going to have the same crappy customer service as Panini. You're probably going to have, like, you've got Panini redemptions that have been there since when?
2013.
Yeah.
So,
like, unless, you know, you spend 40 hours, you know, on the phone or on emails or something, like harassing Panini, you're not getting your LaMelo Ball patch auto. Like,
I have a friend of mine waiting for a Donovan Mitchell optic auto rookie from 2016.
Yeah.
Because he wants the optic auto, the rookie, you know, it's a key rookie card. You know, he wants that card.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
The customer service, but I doubt Fanatics is going to be much better.
No, I mean, I doubt it. I mean, it's such a big company. You know, it's going from, I mean, Topps and Panini are big companies too, compared to everybody else, but it's going from, you know, it's going from Radio Shack to Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that much difference.
Yeah.
You could walk into Radio Shack and find your little niche thing and, you know, batteries or whatever people went to Radio Shack for, but Walmart has it all now. And then they have more, and they make more, and they get more, and it may be cheaper, but the value's not there.
You can't franchise a Walmart.
No.
You know, the people used to franchise Radio Shacks, so they'd run them their whole life.
Yeah.
30 years, and they'd retire. You know.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
No.
You know, so it's eliminating options for working people, for working class people and working people, and I mean, you know. I mean,
it might be if they buy Topps if they buy Panini, if they buy the licenses, the brand new people probably won't know a difference for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But once the shops start dropping, I hope they recognize this. Like, I hope the guy. So the guy that started StockX is the guy that's running Fanatics baseball or sports card division.
Right.
I hope that he I mean, obviously he's a smart businessman.
He's a businessman.
Hopefully he's smart enough to realize the different, but I don't have any faith in that.
No, you don't get to that point. Like, you don't get to that level of wealth by giving a crap about anybody. You get it there through, like, neuroticism and like through what's the word that when you only care about yourself? Narcissism.
Yeah.
You get there through narcissism.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you get there. Like, that's it.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of things. You know, guys that are, you know, it's going to go from minor card shops. I mean, there's, you know, minor card shops that have been having the same allocation for years and years.
Yeah.
It's gonna those allocations or whatever, those accounts are gonna go to people that have YouTube followings and Instagram followings and stuff like that, which is sounds right for today's world.
Yeah.
But that knowledge, that history is going away. Like, the reason Topps cards are Topps cards is that's going away. Like, and I don't know what they're going to do to save that. I mean, they need to save. I mean, it's a ways away. Hopefully they can save. I mean, the only thing, I mean, maybe there's a Fanatics baseball card franchise store and they hire those guys to run it. But
like, there's no shoe flippers anymore, right?
There's no what?
Shoe flippers anymore.
I don't think they can get enough product for how much money they have.
Well, yeah, they can't get enough product, and also I think like because of StockX and companies like that, like, they've produced such a massive amount of shoe variations that nobody cares.
I see.
Like, certain ones they might care about, certain ones that nobody can get a hold of or that nobody can afford. And once in a while there might be one that like pops and takes off and people can make a little money on, but I think they've created so many variations.
It might do the same thing here.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's part of it. I don't know that that's the nail in the coffin, but I think that's part of it. And there's no, like, this, I don't think this hobby's not going to die.
No.
You know, it's going to go, like, not only is it cyclical and we're going to lose the market that we have right now, one way or the other, but also, like, we're losing control. Like, we're losing our beloved brands that have been around forever, like Topps at least. Like, Panini's been around 15 years now. Yeah,
but they bought Donruss.
Yeah.
They bought Leaf Certified and changed it to Certified. They bought Diamond Kings.
Yeah.
You know, Diamond Kings, they bought Elite. Yeah. Elite started in 1991 as an insert.
Yeah.
So it's the same process. You start it as an insert, people like it, you bring it off to his own brand.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you can't start from zero.
Yeah.
You know? And if you do start from zero, the process to find a set that people like year after year takes year after year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a huge window of starting right now of people not buying Topps and Panini because it's going away.
Yeah.
To another 3 years after they get it. I mean, that's a 6-year gap of what the heck's going on, you know?
The problem is, like, here's the problem. Like, if it's completely a consumable, like, if they raise the price to the point to where there is no resale of singles, like, there's no money to be made. Like, part of this hobby, a huge part of this hobby, in my opinion, is that there is a market.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always been, not old, but since the 1980s, that, you know, since this became, like, more of a business and stuff, when you went from like 500 card shops to, or 1,000 card shops to like 10,000, 20,000 card shops, like, it's because there's a market. Like, you can make money off of this, or you can make money to grow your collection or whatever. Like, that's part of it. But, you know, if you're selling a $450 hobby box and the hobby's not there, and the amount you can make off singles is $100. You know, if it's 25%, good luck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there'll still be people building sets and buying singles and stuff.
But that's the way it was, 2 years ago. I mean, there wasn't people that made a living doing this. There wasn't people that made money doing this.
Mm-hmm.
What you did was you bought a box and you sold the stuff you didn't want to keep the stuff you do want.
Yeah.
And to bring the cost of that down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I can see a big window of, there's collectors and then there's flippers, and the hobby's best when both of those guys are happy with, like, right now.
Yeah.
But the prices have got so high that some of those collectors are like, I can't buy, I really like Justin Herbert, I really like Joe Burrow, but I can buy one RPA.
Yeah.
I can't buy 6 of them.
Yeah.
So these guys are stopping, the collectors are stopping, like, it's outpricing these collectors. Once the money's not there for the flippers, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're out faster than you can blink.
Yeah.
So if you take away all the brands that these collectors have loved for 70 years
mm-hmm.
or 40 years or 30 years, however long, if you take that away and you lose them, and then the product doesn't return the investment for the flippers, they're gone.
Yeah.
What do you got left?
Right.
Nobody.
No.
There's no base. There's no. I mean, you go from 18 to 2 pretty fast.
Yeah.
In shops in Kansas City, really fast.
Yeah.
Like when the lease is up, fast.
Yeah.
So that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Best case scenario is they buy Tops, they lease Panini's brands, they already do, drops with them. Yeah. Like maybe they lease the brands or whatever. The guy from StockX runs the division, hires all of Panini's people, hires all the Tops people.
Mm-hmm.
They keep the brands, and they grandfather in all the direct accounts, and they keep that going, and they try to build it by putting them in lids and by putting them in shields and by, well, like kind of what they're doing now. Barnes and Noble has cards. I mean, if all that happens, then we're golden. We're riding the same. But you can't do it that way and pay $200 million a year to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So can't. Which one gives?
Right. Right.
Which one get? And that's what's going to be interesting over the next 2 or 3 years for sure.
What do you think about? Okay. What happens if it's direct accounts but no distributorships? Like, because like right now your direct accounts can't get allocation because of the distributorships, right?
It's one or the other. Like, basically distributors are just huge direct accounts.
Yeah.
The distributors are there to serve a purpose, because back in the day, to get a direct account, you had to buy a certain amount of stuff that most shops couldn't afford.
Right.
I mean, back when I was looking into it, it was like you had to spend $25,000 a year.
Yeah.
When there was 8-10 products. Like, maybe that was too much for some shops. So these distributors filled a niche.
Yeah.
They gave them shops that only could afford 6 boxes instead of the 12.
Yeah.
Or could only buy 2 and then had to go back and buy 2 and then go back and buy 2. Like, it filled a niche.
Yeah.
That I don't think that niche is there. Like, we have people rolling in, like literally coming in my shop saying we have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you think we could buy a license or buy a wholesale account? I was like,
good luck.
Yeah, I mean, get in line.
Yeah.
So that niche for the distributor is gone. If they blow the whole thing up, if they grandfather in, I mean, that's what I don't have faith in happening.
I guess what I'm saying is, what if it's direct to consumer? What if it's direct to direct accounts? Like direct to shops? Like, you have to be a shop, a legitimate shop, to get direct. And then they have like these special drops for individuals, like consumers and stuff. And then, like, you kind of eliminate the middle, but also you support the hobby in a way. Because a lot of these distributorships, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand from a lot of people in the hobby, like it used to be like you have hobby and you have retail, right? And hobby only goes to hobby shops, and retail, you
couldn't have both.
Things. You couldn't have both.
You couldn't have both direct accounts, yeah.
But in this world that we've lived in with all the money that's there, the distributorships have kind of just some of them have went to where they just go to the highest bidder, basically.
The distributors are the ones making bank compared to, I mean, the local car shops are doing really well, but the distributors are making the bank. Like kind of how it works is you get whatever's allocated to you. Say, when I opened the shop last summer, or I was going to open the shop, I ordered 5 cases of Topps Chrome. I got 0.
Yeah.
It was available the next day on that distributor's website as a restock.
Yeah.
The day after release, they didn't restock it.
No, they never.
They kept
sent
my
it out.
cases.
Yeah, exactly.
The cases. If it was a junk product, I would have got my 5 cases. If I had ordered 5 cases of opening day, I would have got my opening day.
Yeah.
So, but the restock price was twice as much as the original cost the day after.
Yeah.
So distributors are holding that spread. They're making that spread. That's what I'm saying. Like you get your allocation, but to get your allocations up, you have to buy these restock prices.
By allocation, you mean you get
Original
a certain amount
costs.
of product, whether it's 1 case, 2 case, 3 case, 4 case, you get it at direct cost. And then restock is twice that or whatever it is.
Sometimes 8 times, 10 times that. Yeah. So everybody has to build up their allocation numbers. Yeah. So you order 1 case at cost and say it's $100 a box. So you pay $1,200 for your first case. Well, you sell out of that immediately. Mm-hmm. Your second case, you go to the distributor and say, hey, I sold out of that. I want another case. Well, now that case is, maybe that box is $250 a box, but maybe it's only selling for $250 a box.
Yeah.
So if you just keep taking your allocation numbers, you spent $1,200 with them that week.
Yeah.
The guy that bought the restock has now spent $4,200.
Yeah.
So you spent 12, he spent 42. Now the next week, it doesn't work this fast.
Yeah.
But the numbers, they look at him that spent 42 and you that spent 12. Now maybe you only get 3 boxes and he gets the other 9.
Yeah.
So the allocations, you have to keep your allocations up. Not only do you have to buy everything they'll give you, you have to buy restocks because you're competing with everybody else in their distributorship.
You are their profit. You have to be willing to be their profit.
There's almost every time.
You're paying.
Almost every time you buy the restock, you're selling it for them.
You buy the stuff. You have to buy the stuff you don't want, and you have to pay up for the stuff that you do want.
You have to buy the stuff. You have to buy the stuff that everybody wants at cost and just not make any money on it.
Yeah.
So basically, when those products hit that are $100 a box that are selling for $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000, to get those again, you have to buy the restock at $1,000 a box.
This is crazy.
So,
why would anyone do that?
Because they get that original cost at $1,200. That $1,200 that day.
Yeah.
When you pay $1,200 for a case and it's worth $12,000,
yeah,
that's a good day.
Yeah,
$2,200 for this $12,000 case.
That's if you buy 2 cases,
right?
But if you want allocation, you got to buy 4 or 5 or however many,
right?
So then suddenly you're at 10-20% profit again, even though you made $12,000 on that one.
But that distributor didn't go back to Panini and buy more.
Mm-hmm.
They're making the $12,000 per case every time.
Every single time.
Yeah, that they paid, $90 a box for.
Yeah.
So that spread is going away.
Yeah.
That's going directly into Fanatics' pocket.
Sure. But the thing is, that spread won't exist.
No.
Yeah,
right.
It's like 5 years from now, 2025.
It doesn't exist now.
Let's just say 1995.
Yeah.
It's the same as whatever. Like, that spread won't exist. It doesn't exist now.
Right.
And like Select Basketball, like, is Select Hobby holding up?
No.
No.
I mean, it didn't start off as high anyways, but
yeah.
I mean, we jumped the shark when Prism was $2,000 a box. Well, $2,500.
Yeah.
$2,500 for a hobby box. Cost was $165.
Yeah.
And LaMelo gets hurt, and it drops to $2,000. And everybody thinks, oh, okay, it's only $2,000. It's not.
Yeah.
LaMelo's. I had people coming into my shop on release day of Hoops basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can print Hoops quality cards on my printer. I mean, not to bash the product, they got some cool inserts, but Hoops base cards are about as base card as you can get.
Yep. And
I had people coming in my shop on release day and asking me, "Do you think LaMelo's cards will go up and down?" When it was $250. I said, like how much is Zion's Hoops base card worth?
Yeah.
It's $15,
Yeah.
Like LaMelo's gonna get, like, that was the peak. Like, people that haven't seen that before, that was the peak.
Yep.
And that was last summer. So it's Fanatics buying,
at the peak.
Luka's at $10,000.
At the peak. It's almost like it's almost really poetic, because like they kind of represent all the bad advice that's been put into the market.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get, like, it's poetic because they may get burnt on their own bad advice, like buying at the peak, buying the hype.
These licensing deals fall apart all the time. Like I'm trying to keep up on soccer stuff, and I was on ESPN's soccer page, and apparently, they're just giving, like, one TV station is just giving the rights away to another TV station of the Premier League in the US because they don't know what to do with it. Like that stuff just falls apart. Like, it's not uncommon for licensing deals just to fall apart.
Yeah.
And that could have happened here for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it happens before they take it over and, Topps is out of business or
Well, I hope Topps is stubborn and pissed off enough to be like, no, like, we're just gonna wait for you to fail and then we'll buy it back for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, even though that's terrible, like the worst, maybe one of the worst things for the hobby, like, there's a big part of me that would really like to see that. The rebel part of me, like, wants to see Topps give them a big middle finger and be like, no, you're gonna fail, and when you do, we'll be there to clean up for nothing.
Yeah.
I hope they're. I mean, nobody likes Bowman more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it doesn't go away.
They can still make it, right? It'd just be unlicensed.
I don't think so because they don't have the players' license. The players' association.
So, but Panini did have the Players Association for baseball.
Yep. I don't think they can make anything.
So basically, professional athletes get richer.
Mm-hmm.
A billion-dollar company gets richer off of everybody else that's gonna go.
It's just the same thing. It's just the same thing as what's happening now with them raising prices on blasters.
Yeah.
I mean, they say, they see this blaster that Panini. I mean, you pay $20 at Walmart for that blaster. Panini's getting like $11 of it.
Yeah.
Only way they make more money is make more cards.
Yeah.
They even if they raise the price of the blasters, it's not going to affect it enough. So now with the new products coming out, they raise the price of the blasters. They're just cutting the middle guy out. I mean, that's all this is right now. And I can promise you, the amount of blasters being bought is down.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I mean, stuff is getting left on. I mean, people out there can know that stuff is getting left on the shelves now.
Yeah.
Alan getting prestige football, elite football.
Which I kind of like because I can go in and buy stuff again. I kind of like. At the same time, it's like
it's good for the collector.
Yeah.
Well, it's
you
good.
Gotta pay
it's
more
not good for
it.
the hobby.
Hopefully it dies enough to where it goes back to $20. But
yeah, they don't move that fast. They just run it into the ground.
Yeah, they'll just run it into the ground and there won't be anything left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that is based on them knowing that this is cyclical. It lasts this long exactly. no matter what we do. So let's make as much money as possible right now, and regardless of what happens afterwards.
I think that's Panini's, like we thought we went through this when Panini bought Donruss.
Yeah.
And when Panini bought, all this other, Upper Deck bought Fleer, and we thought, it's all coming together, and Topps just stood pat, Topps could very easily go to the football player, when Panini bought the exclusive rights in 2015. Topps could have easily went to the Players Association football and said, hey, we're going to pay you $20 million a year, $10 million a year, and we're going to make football cards just like Panini makes baseball. It's not going to say New York Giants. It's going to say New York football.
Yep.
It's not going to say Chiefs. It's going to say Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done that, but Topps realized that wasn't good for the hobby. New people getting in don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like Topps understood that. Topps, there was a level of not only respect for the hobby, but experience, because they had been around for 70 years. Like, they learned from people that were back. Like, that's not good for the hobby. Like, Donruss base Donruss is so much cooler than Topps base.
Yeah.
The inserts, all the innovation, all that stuff. But it doesn't matter if you don't have the right history, if you don't have the licenses, if you don't. So that's going to be the same thing with Fanatics. I mean, if they don't bring in the right people, if they don't bring in, if they just try to innovate and start from ground one, it's going to blow up in their face. So
that sucks.
I mean, cards are going to be around.
Yeah.
It's just if they're cool anymore.
Right. We'll be able to make a living.
And some of us will.
You want to talk about what our last couple weeks have been like?
It's been crazy, man.
It's been pretty insane.
Yeah.
So if you think the hobby's dying,
right,
we haven't noticed it.
No. We had a show here in Kansas City, at Harrah's, and none of us knew what to expect. It was definitely the most fun I've ever had at a card show in my life. We were busy. My wife was sitting there helping customers, selling blaster boxes to kids, and I mean, we went full bore. We took 3 carloads full of stuff. I mean,
shock and awe.
That's
all I heard for 3 days leading up to this.
And you guys
show.
didn't know what was going. I mean, you guys didn't quite understand what the plan was. You're like, Mike, do we really need to take every box of Topps? Yes. We need to make all 80 blasters. We're taking all of them. Everything. The
2001 Upper Deck Golf.
Yes.
Everything is going.
Everything is going.
Yeah.
So when kids turn the corner of the card show and their eyes got that big around, they're going to remember that card show. This was the show to go full bore. This was the show. But even it exceeded my expectations immediately. I had it was the most fun I've ever had at a card show, with the combination of me from being open at the shop, knowing every third person that walked up that I wouldn't have known before.
Yeah.
To meeting new people, to seeing dealers from Oklahoma, from Nebraska. There was a guy there from New Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
That card show was the most fun I've ever had at a card show, and it doesn't hurt that it was probably the most profitable as well. But not only that, the week after the card show, we handed out hundreds of business cards. Yeah. The week after the card show was probably our best week here.
Yeah.
So the fact that
it was crazy.
Every day, I didn't sit down for 7 hours. I was helping somebody from 12 to 7.
I know.
For a week straight.
I know. It was insane.
Yeah, and we're not even trying. We haven't even started.
We don't advertise. We don't advertise because we can't efficiently service the customers. If we advertise, we couldn't efficiently service the amount of people that would come in here.
Yeah, it'd be the equivalent of having to shut down PSA, having to shut down.
Yeah,
I've never run a business like this big before, at the scale that we want to scale it. Or that it's going to scale itself whether we want to or not at this point. You know what I mean? I'm not sure we could slow it down without just shutting the doors. You know what I mean?
So we're just saying, because to increase sales, we need to we are, and we need to decrease the amount of inventory that we have right now. Like, we need to process the inventory that we have right now so that we have space and that we have, like, we're able to, like, buy and sell in a reasonable amount of time to produce to be able to give the best prices to the people that are selling, and know that we don't have that, like, that's not going to get stuck on a shelf. We don't have to buy that at a price to where when we get around to it 6 months from now, you know. So once we get to that point,
it should only spend a week behind the curtain before it goes back out for sale.
Yeah,
and a week's a long time. I mean, some of that better stuff that we buy. I mean, like today I bought a PSA 10 Mahomes red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And tonight, before I go to bed, it's going to be on eBay and out on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, that needs to be a process done for every card.
Yeah.
You know, or 90% of the cards.
Yeah.
And every card that we buy has a place to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I buy everything, is because I've tried to build an infrastructure where every single card, even if it's a 1990 Donruss card, it has a place to sell. It has a place to go. There's distribution channels for every single card, and there's shops, and the new pop-up shops that built their business model on the wax and they don't have that. It's not to disparage what they're doing. It's just they can't buy 1990 Donruss and make it profitable.
No,
they don't want to.
No, they're not going to. But
yeah, they can't. Right? Like, yeah. I'm not saying I'm doing something that's. I'm not saying I'm doing something that other people can't do, but we are doing it, and they're not going to.
No, they don't have the channels.
Yeah,
they don't have the sales channels. They don't. I have people literally. I have customers fighting over base cards right now. Yeah.
I mean, you've dealt with that all week. Like, we can't keep our base cards in. We're running out of base. We can't fill our orders for base cards. Like, if any of you have base cards, we are buying base cards.
If you have base chrome football or basketball, please bring it by 1524 Northeast 96th Street.
Shameless
Suite
plug.
B, 816-382-1580.
We need them. Thank you.
We will buy them. Yes. Like, it doesn't have to be 2015 or newer.
Right, yeah.
Football or basketball. Like, please bring them by the shop. We have them sold already.
But if you come by at noon, and then you come back by at 7, 5 out of 6 days, the counter will be full of stuff I bought that day.
There's different stuff here than what there was at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least 5 out of 6.
Probably all 6. I was just being conservative.
Yeah, I'd say more like 18 out of 20.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's new stuff for as much as for however long we've been on, for as much as the past hour that we despaired, I have faith in the next year, 2 years, 3 years will be as good as it's ever been still.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be as good as it was, but for people that have built a business the right way, have built a shop the right way, it's not going to be, I mean,
it's going to be fun.
I think we should, like,
but it's not going to be insane.
No.
There's not going to be people getting rich in 6 months off of some one card or something.
Yeah.
You can't just buy and hold stuff in it.
Mike Trout's not going to go from 400,000 to 4 million in 2 years.
No. Probably go back to 400,000
before it goes to 8 million.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting. It's still fun. I'm really looking forward to basketball season started. Basketball's now like my number one favorite sport to watch, and my favorite part to be in the hobby, mainly because, like, it's just I don't know, it's evolved to that. It's like a place where I'm able to be valuable in this environment, and I just really just fall in love with the basketball market and the basketball season. But I've definitely seen stuff trending up, so looking forward to not seeing anything like we've seen in the past, but seeing a healthy market.
Yeah.
A healthy market that's fun and that, is profitable for people, and that, people can engage in and ride the wave of, whether Luka gets the MVP or, Cade Cunningham is Rookie of the Year, whatever, Lamelo's an all-star, Lonzo Ball finally takes off. What's that? Fingers crossed.
Oh,
With the Chicago Bulls, like I kind of think there's a possibility of that.
yeah.
But lots of exciting stuff, and that's all. At this point, I think that's all we can hope for is a healthy market.
Baseball playoffs,
Baseball playoffs,
football starting.
football starting.
Like this is the dog days of summer. I mean,
Yeah.
we're officially at the back end of that.
Yeah,
I mean, once football starts, it's over. Like it's a different feel. It's a
Yeah.
different. People come in Monday looking for, whoever had 140 yards receiving. Like we went through that last year at the very tail end of it. But it's always been that way on eBay. It's always, that's a different thing. Like, nobody cares that Ohtani. I mean, nobody's buying cards that Ohtani hit his 41st home run or 42nd home run. They're watching that climb, but it's the dog days.
once he hits MVP.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's playing on Sunday. Woo! I got a significant portion of money wrapped up in Joe Burrow stuff that I bought when he was still considered to be
Cheap.
well, yeah, cheap and
Yeah.
like he's still a starting quarterback. Like he has like one couple bad days in training camp and suddenly people are like, oh, he's done. He's done. He's on track to
I
be
love this
rookie
market, man. I love
rookie
this
of the
market.
year last year. But I do want to get rid of it because like he's probably not going to have a winning season, whether no matter how good he does.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I got money in Burrow. I got money in Herbert. Most of that stuff will be sold before the season starts.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Most likely. But it's gonna. I mean, that's part of the. I mean, this stuff's gonna come in. I mean, it's gonna come in here. It depends on what day I buy it to how much it's gonna be bought for. But I mean, I'm always buying that stuff, so it's like I know that stuff's gonna come back in. Like we're always gonna have Burrows available and Herbert's available and all that stuff. But we got real money in Herbert right now. And we got 3 or 4 Burrow RPAs.
Yeah.
So, if you watch the last podcast, that stuff's gonna go away before the season starts.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to sell.
Yeah, right.
You sell that stuff. I'm gonna try to hit some questions. Maybe.
Sure, let's do it.
If you think of like some other topics that we should cover, maybe, but
I like Michael there.
what's that?
Topps college football cards to pay the players.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
that's
That's
not
a
a
good
bad idea.
idea.
Baseball, basketball, football. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea. I can't. Yeah,
I mean,
like that.
they're definitely going to be making Topps. They're definitely going to be making college cards.
So is there going to be a college players association?
I don't know.
Like they almost have to have one. You can't go out. I mean, otherwise you're going out and you're signing every single player that you want.
I think that's the way they have to do it right now.
Yeah.
I think you also have to have agreements with. So, I know the inner workings of Onyx a little bit because of just I don't know the guy personally. I mean, I met him at the National and stuff like that, but I get secondhand information from the guy, and they have to go through. Not only do they have to sign the player to individual contracts, they have to go through that. All that's done through the compliance office of the schools. So you can't just pay a player. You have to go through the compliance office to make sure. And when they make the cards, you have to make sure that you're not using like too much of the team colors, or they still have to sign off on that stuff, even though you can't. He's not licensing Alabama football, but he's using the same color maroon on the guy's jersey. Like all of that stuff has to be okayed through the compliance office with the guys that he's signing. So it's not like just the Wild West where you can just go sign anybody you want.
So is that why some players like their cards come out like LaMelo Ball's card when he's in that practice jersey in like Prism Draft?
Yeah, because they didn't want to pay the team he was playing for.
Yeah. And the team he was playing for maybe was like
It was overseas, right?
That's
Like,
too close to our actual
yeah, right.
like jersey.
That's why you get those crappy the combine pictures. They don't want to pay anybody else. It's like, this is NFL, so snap, Yeah, we don't want to pay anybody to Photoshop the Steelers on there either. So yeah, that's where you get those photos from. But there's gonna be college, like you're gonna be able to buy. I forget the guy's name from Alabama, but he's gonna have an Onyx card this year.
The starting quarterback for
Yeah.
Alabama is going to have an Onyx card this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Before the season?
now, yeah, like it's in
Now.
the works. Yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
We're gonna have some, aren't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait till the basketball Onyx comes out.
Onyx is a really cool company that I don't think a lot of people know a lot about. You want to kind of.
I just like him personally because I'm more of a I understand the shininess. I understand here's the one of one Mahomes autograph patch card.
Mm-hmm.
That's $4 million. But I also, me personally, I would like to have bulk. I would like to have more than one. I don't want to put all my eggs in that one basket.
Yeah.
So what Onyx does for me, Wander Franco's Bowman Chrome Auto, I mean, I haven't even tracked it, but I'm sure it's stupid money, thousands of dollars as a PSA 10 or something like that. You can buy an Onyx on-card auto for $80. I just sold one today for $80. A rookie card, the first year 2019 rookie card for $80.
Yeah.
It's the same autograph, So it's definitely it's shopping at Walmart instead of Tiffany's.
Yeah.
But you can find some good stuff at Walmart. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a quality card.
Definitely.
It's a base paper. It's a matte card.
Yeah.
Matte finish.
He does really good at designing the cards to like the vintage set and every card is on card.
And if you buy like a box, like his boxes, like every card's an auto, right?
Yeah.
Like there's 4 or 5. Or,
I think the football had 8. I'm not positive on that, but the new basketball product coming out is going to have all the draft picks. The checklist is stupid. Like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Some of the older guys in there. So that, he has relationships with Onyx is going full bore in the fact. I mean, this guy used to do it part time.
Yeah.
And he's full time. He's full time now. They had a VIP. They had a VIP party at the National that was at Dave. They rented out Dave & Buster's for the day. Yeah. And it had Randy Johnson and Chad Ochocinco and Frank Gore. I mean, they had real players there signing autographs. He's making a run at it. And
ONYX, right?
Huh?
ONYX.
ONYX, yeah.
I mean, you got Steph Curry autos on your checklist.
On card.
On card.
Yeah.
Not stickers. On card autos. It doesn't get. I mean, you've got a shot.
But they're affordable.
Cool. They're affordable.
They're affordable. That Steph Curry's not going to go for $800.
Right.
And the boxes aren't going to be $1,000. The boxes are going to be. You're going to get 8 autos for a couple $100.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, they're affordable.
Yeah.
So, I know it's not national treasures, and that card's never going to be worth $4.5 million. I'm
going to buy a box.
I love this. I love it.
Yeah. And there's parallels and stuff that are
red ink, blue ink,
are they
green ink.
Hand numbered?
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, the ones we've got. I think we had a hand numbered Bobby Witt.
Yeah,
but he knows the market. He had Jason Dominguez sign The Martian underneath on some of his cards. He knows what makes a card cooler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just like the way they do all kinds of different stuff. He does special signings with guys, but everything's. I mean, I don't have a direct account with Onyx either. This is just. I like the cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is not a paid promotion,
right?
For Onyx,
not yet.
Sports cards, not yet. We're out there. Let's see. Fanatics franchise cards shops. Basically, they have already done that. I mean, they have lids. That's what they're planning on.
I think so.
That's the way it seems. Another company can sell gum and put cards as the price. That's dopey tripod. You don't his stuff doesn't necessarily have to make sense.
Understood.
But it's pretty funny most of the time. Wino Panini. So yeah, Fanatics has bought up all the licensing. Ups. Yep. Michael, that's a good one. They say 500,000 people came back into sports cards in 2020. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 1 in 600 people. I guess if you came back into sports cards, maybe you're only dealing with one in, or, one in, I don't know.
Yeah.
300 million people.
I always used to say, like, when sports cards were not cool.
Yeah.
And this wasn't that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We had lots of guys transferring from, and I would say it's probably like 14, 15, 16 when the Royals were good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would have, like, say at an Arrowhead game, you would have 80,000 people there.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those people at that time wanted a Patrick Mahomes rookie card? It was 10%, maybe 8,000 people.
Yeah.
So there was people transitioning from buying cards to buying jerseys, autograph helmets, all that stuff. Because all 80,000 people wanted an autographed, jersey.
Yeah. Now
people don't want the autographed jersey. All 80,000 want Patrick Mahomes rookie cards. Like, that's the switch that's happened, So, like what he said, like 500,000 people came back.
Yeah.
I believe that. I mean, those extra 70,000 people came back.
Yeah.
The people that are buying Chiefs season tickets, those guys all came back to cards because all their friends are collecting cards. All, their sons and daughters, they want to show them what I did when I was a kid.
Because of Patrick Mahomes, we have 100,000 of that 500,000 in Kansas City.
Yeah, probably in Kansas City. Yeah, probably.
You rather have 10 500 graded cards in your PC or one 5,000 graded card? Long-term PC Mahomes hold.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, we see what's happening now where the one big card from 2 years ago is worth much more. If you're talking about holding one player, like the one card that was $5,000 or $1,000, let's say it's that RPA that was $1,000 2 or 3 years ago. Now it's $100,000. Like the percentage jump on those big cards has been a lot higher than the smaller cards.
I wouldn't if you gave me 10 $500 cards or one $5,000 card, I would take the $5,000 card.
Yeah.
But if you gave me one $5,000 card or 500 $10 cards, that's a different question.
He loves bulk.
That's a different question.
Oh,
have you seen the shop?
Yeah. If you all have anything to do with StarStock, all right, I'm gonna go on my StarStock rant right now because last night we're sitting there looking. It was like StarStock B, Alec Bohms are 50 cents. StarStock B, Joey Bart's are 25 cents. StarStock B, Joe Adele's are 40 cents. And so I bought like 100 of them because on StarStock's website it says if you buy 100 cards, it's $15 shipping plus 50 cents per card over 100, right? Well, I emailed them today and they said no, it's $15 plus 50 cents per card starting at $0. So it's $65 to ship 100 cards that I bought for less than $1. Like, I've got $35 in those cards and they want $65 to ship them. I'm like, there's no way. First of all, like that like you need to get your stuff together because like that ship home crap is completely confusing. The table is confusing. They don't need to charge 50 cents a card. Like, you're making your money on percentage. Like, it doesn't cost you 50 cents, so you're making money to ship cards home to people.
Aren't all those StarStock Bs in the same place, don't you think?
Well, I would think. Here's the thing. I thought about that too. Because I'm like, if you're taking, like, if I buy 64 Joey Bart's cards, and they're all the Joey Bart base tops are in the same place, but I think they sort them by account. So, like, every time somebody trades a 25-cent card, like, they have to go and put it from one place to another. So that's why I email them back, and I'm like, I'll take these off your hands, but not for $65 for 100 cards. Like, if you want to be reasonable about this, like, I'll pay you $100 for 1,000 cards to ship them, but I'm not paying them.
At some point, don't you just wait until they're in your account and all 64 of them are together? I mean, if they move them,
Well, that's the whole thing. If they're moving them to my account, like, I guess it doesn't matter one way or the other. Like, if they have them all sorted by, here's all the Topps Joey Bart cards, 2021 Topps Joey Bart cards. If they have them sorted like that, it's no big deal. Pull out
You pay the
64.
50 cents for all 64 because it's the same work to go get one as it is to 64.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same amount of work.
Yeah.
If they sort them by individual,
Yeah.
that's even better. Like,
Just ship my whole account to me.
yeah, send it all to me.
Yeah.
Don't don't take advantage of me for it. Like, you set up the structure. Like, it's your fault. You weren't charging people to send cards in when Series 1 2021
Yeah.
Topps came out. And so they sent every single rookie card in, and now they're selling for 10 cents a piece. They're getting 5 cents a piece to go and move that card from one box to the other. Like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
But, like, what's your plan here? Because it's costing you to hold a million
They don't want to deal with
10-cent cards. They
Yeah.
shouldn't want that. So, like, I'm hoping they come back at me with something reasonable, because it's like, I bought cards based on your shipping table that is
it.
misleading.
It does say
best.
15 cents plus 50 cents over that.
It says $15.
$15, sorry.
Plus 50 cents a card over 100.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
That's what it says.
So, like I said, I'll pay $100 to them
Yeah.
to ship 1,000 cards back, but I'm not paying $65 to ship. To ship 100 cards, to ship $35 worth of cards. No, stupid. That's so stupid. And I'm a big fan of StarStock, and their customer service did get back to me quick,
Instantly almost, right?
instantly almost,
Yeah.
like in the same day.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for that. But I'm just letting you all know, like, don't go buying 25-cent cards thinking, you're like, that's ridiculous. I think 50 cents a card. Like, I think to have somebody walk.
If we charge that, nobody'd ever buy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
To have somebody walk down an aisle, like, I mean, even if you're only shipping home certain cards from your account, like it's. I mean, I guess if they sort them by card, by the type of card, like, there is a toss up there. But
Not
either
now,
way,
because you bought all of them.
Either way, in my situation, if I've got 100 Joey Barts, send my 100 Joey
Yeah.
Barts.
Either no, it doesn't matter how they sort it. If they sort it into accounts or they sort it by card, there's 64 in your account, or there's 64 in the. I mean,
Yeah,
it
for
shouldn't-
me,
it shouldn't charge you $32 to get those cards out.
But I'm saying, like, no, it shouldn't. I mean, if it does, they need to hire somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying in general, like, if you want to be fair, everything has to be fair, like, for everybody, equal for everybody. But it's not. Like, that's not how stuff works. That's not.
Yeah.
But like, the person that's shipping 5 cards home, and they got to go pick them out of all different places. Okay, I understand 50 cents a card. But if I'm shipping home 125-cent cards, there's no way I'm paying $65. Like, I'll drive to get them before I'll pay $65.
You pick them out yourself.
Drive to New York to get them. That's just to let people know, hey, that's the information I found out. No, it's not $15 for 100 cards. It's $65 for 100 cards.
Yeah.
As of right now. Hopefully they'll change that, but I'm not going to hold my breath. At least for me. Hopefully I'm special, and if I'm buying...
Don't, if it works, don't broadcast it because they may not do it for you.
I'm not gonna let anybody know.
You got the StarStock treatment.
Yeah, I got the special influencer treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but like, yeah. Anyways, all right, I'm done. That
All right.
really doesn't
Good.
matter.
You
to
feel better
anyone,
now?
But I wanted to let them know. Yeah, I feel better now.
Okay, good.
Went nuts buying Clyde autos last year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, RPAs and XRCs. Do you think Clyde's value will go back up or lose my ASS?
I think you're good, man.
Yeah, I think so. Their line
Yeah.
looks really good.
Man, those holes, it looked like the Red Sea parting, man, in that preseason game. Yeah, they'll be fine.
I kind of feel bad if I'm like we were talking the other day, and it's like Clyde's maybe the only position player that I would invest in
from last year's class. Yeah,
just because their line's so good.
yeah,
And like he's great.
he's yeah. I mean, and there's like, I mean, there's nobody really like pushing him for reps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Darrell Williams and Darwin Thompson. Like those guys are backup running backs.
He's gonna get every carry that he can efficiently manage. They're gonna give him every carry he can efficiently manage.
And he stays on the field. I think he's gonna catch a lot more balls this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get. That's part of the reason you signed Tooney is to get him out. Get him out on a corner to block. Like a lot of screen passes, a lot of stuff like that. Andy Reid's really good at getting people the ball. I mean, he makes McCole Hardman look like someone that can. I mean, he's got talent, but McCole Hardman needs so much help, and he does it.
Yeah.
Like when I can't remember exactly what game it was. I think it was a playoff game. Hardman fumbled on his first drive.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game where he fumbled? I think it was a playoff game.
Yeah, I think it was.
So he fumbled and he comes over the bench and he sits down on the bench and his head drops. You know, like head down, staring at the ground. The next time they were down there, he calls a freaking screen pass at the goal line for McCole Hardman to score the touchdown and get him back out. Like Andy Reid is really good at getting people the ball that need the ball.
Yeah.
And he can game plan for anything. Like he can. So I mean, nobody needs to talk about Andy Reid like being really good at his job. Like that's the obvious thing, But I think I think Clyde's his toy. Like Clyde, he can do whatever he wants with him.
Yeah.
I like Clyde. I mean, I got a lot of Clyde Edwards stuff, and I don't care if I sell it or not right now. He's about the only guy from 2020.
You think like got a lot? You think
maybe a few?
You get quite a bit.
You remember those? Remember when I said I want $1,000 cards?
Yeah. Remember he said, whether it was a $5,000 cards or
that's
or
Clyde.
$100 cards, or, $1,010 cards. Like yeah. Have you guys ever seen a certified Jeff Kent auto?
I don't think so.
Don't think he has ever signed. It'd be archives, I would think.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind too.
Yeah, I can check it out.
Yeah. Thanks, Job. These are prototypes, by the way.
Ooh, you got an offer.
Prototypes, day ones.
Oh no.
This is the Flex Fit. That's the fitted cap. 101s.
How much interest would there be in a warehouse merchandise for YouTube? Let me know. Might be able to make that happen. If we've got them, we could probably put up I could put up some type of way of selling them to people.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear. I would. This is 101.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was I looking at? Jeff Kent autos. Where'd they go? A little bit out of it right now.
You got your feelings out, man. You feel better.
I know. I had a feeling that might have been the case, but it was like so ridiculous that they would charge $65.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, for 100 cards. Sorry, I'm not going back to that topic. Jeff Kent auto. Here. Hand sign.
JD Snow.
Autographics.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't. Looks like everything's hand signed.
That one slid by me.
I didn't know.
I would have guessed.
At least said he hadn't had any luck finding any. Got a ton of retail sealed wax football. When would you guys suggest selling? Now? Yes. I would.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes. Even, I mean, there's so many people, like, you can say, 2018 Prism, like, there's not thousands of people hoarding it in their basement. But if you look, I bet there's thousands of people that have 2020 Prism football blasters in their basement.
Yeah.
Thousands of them.
Yeah.
Not hundreds, thousands.
What product, what modern, ultra modern retail product, like come out in the last 2 years? Name a product that's come out in the last 6 months that is worth more than it was, than is worth more than it was 3 months ago. Like, name one product.
The only one I can think of is Bowman Chrome Megas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's Bowman. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
But Select is down. Prism's down. Optics down. Because if something gets hot, you just have a dump on eBay because everybody's got it.
The only thing I would say is it didn't seem like they printed just a ton of Optic football.
I mean, I don't think it's definitely not as much as Select
or Prism.
Probably or Prism.
Yeah.
I mean, when it released, it was out there. I mean, we went through 100 blasters in a week or two. It was out there, but it wasn't restocked for 3 months like Select was. So, and there wasn't megas and like every other, but it's harder to pull good rookies out of Optic than it is Select, so the singles are going to have value, where the Select, you can pull, it's like Select's like Chronicles, older brother.
It is now.
Like, you can pull 12 different Herbert rookies. You can pull 4 different Herbert rookies in Select. There's the Optic graded rookie in Optic,
Yeah.
So, I mean, our philosophy is sell. So
yeah.
Usually is.
Should razz off a meat and cheese tray. Oh, that's Chris. That's Chris. Of course it is.
I'm not giving away any more meat and cheese ever. You look at my wife was here. Does it look like I would give away food very often?
That makes sense. Well, I think we have ranted.
I think we've alienated everybody we could.
I think. I don't know.
We held back a little.
Yeah, we held back a little. Yeah, I could have ranted more. I could have definitely vented more, but I feel good about the amount I've vented today.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we don't have to go upstairs to the psychologist anymore.
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that come back 5 years from now and tell me how right I was.
Well, let's hope they don't. Let's hope we're wrong. Let's hope. Yeah. But
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. We hope we eat our words.
I hope we have a very healthy hobby.
We will not delete this video. We will eat our words.
That's right. Many years to come. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. You can check out our eBay store. We have nearly 1,000 listings right now. A lot of cool stuff.
Lots of new stuff on there this week.
Yeah, for sure. Our Facebook link and our eBay link is down in the description. And we really appreciate y'all. If you're anywhere near the Kansas City area, come by and visit us at the warehouse.
Tell us how you like the new setup.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback. We need it.
We went all out today.
Yeah.
Just for you.
We don't know where we're going. We don't know who's hosting this.
Yeah.
We don't know who's hosting this.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Branding.